Hello class, this video is to help you complete Dropbox 6, or to be more exact, it's about method. So far for the first 3 weeks we say programming is about it's about instructions for computers to follow. So each line is a instruction, and computers will follow each of these lines, and that's it. And we also say all statement, all instructions, each line should be inside the main method. So this is the beginning of the main method, this is the ending of the main method. So everything should be inside the main method. And beginning today, we will do something different. Imagine you have thousands of lines inside the main method. How convenient for you to read. So just think of a book as a 1000 page chapters. So how convenient is that? It's not convenient. So method is method. So method. Method is just a way to organize the statement, the instructions, the lines of code. So in other words, instead of putting everything inside the main method, we are going to have other methods to put part of the lines into them. So for example, if you run this code like this, it will be exactly the same as the solution recommended in the book. The output is the same, but organization is different. So if you're just doing this, you don't get any credit, because this assignment is about using methods. You have to use a method. How difficult to create a method? So let's say the difference between this code and the code in the book is this line. So you can highlight this line. We are going to make this line of statement into a different method. So you can right click, quick action, and refactoring. And then you have, let's say, extract method. So we are making the extract line into a different method. You see, it's a method created and waiting for you to give a name. Let's call it multiply. You see here, the two bolts are. Then click on apply, and technically that's it. You can turn in for a full credit. But if you want to learn more, let's talk a little more. So inside this method, there is only one line of statement, so you don't see much benefit of using a method. You have this line of statement, and then you need this to call the method. Let's call this is calling the method. So this is calling a method. So you call a method with this line of code. And then you don't see much benefit, but we can still say this is a way to organize the code. Your method has only one statement. So let's see what else. First thing is, you see this is the main method inside the program class, and this is one we just created. Another method. It's also inside the program class. So you can have many methods, but they are all of them must be inside a class. So you see the container namespace from here to here. It has one class. Actually it can have more, but usually we just put this one here, this class beginning here, ending here, and now we have two methods beginning this one here to here, and this one here to here. You may also notice that we have a private. Actually this private is not required. You can remove them, but the general practice is whenever possible put a private accessor in front. it means that this method can only be called by any other method inside the same program. So actually we can remove that and you don't see the difference. So of course there are minor differences, but we don't feel it. And a method has a keyword, a modifier like the private, public, and next one is a static. This one is required here, but not everywhere. It's required here because it is used. You see, multiply method is used inside the main method, and main method is static. The rule is let's write a rule here. You can write outside maybe. So the rule is a excuse me, a static method can only call another static method. That's why in order to make this one working here, it must be static. It's required. And then the second part is called return type. The method will do something. It will not always return something, but if it returns something, it is in here. This one returns the multiplication of two integers, and which will be an integer. So return type, and this is the name, the method name. You need a name for a method, so a name. And this one here is this one. It's called parameter list. It's the input to the method. What this method need? It needs two integers. So actually, here's something. This a is not required. It's not. Don't have to be a. So actually, some people prefer to call it x. And this one will be used here. So this one has to be called x. And how about this one? Of course, y will be natural, but how about on purposely I put a z here, and then this one will be changed to z. So it does not matter which letter you are using as long as you are consistent. This method says give me two integers. It does not say which two integers. So it just says give me two integers, and I will return the product of these two integers. So, and let's say a simple method. And how about let's see another example of another method. Let's say instead of asking for user for the instead of having a integer equals 11, how about we take a file. We prompt user for two numbers. So let's say enter an integer. And then we say we put the integer a equals, we need to pass, and then it will be console the read line. So we pass the user input into an integer and put that into an a. And then this one, if user enter 11, we get same answer. 55, user enter 10, we get 50. So this one works exactly the same, and it's now more flexible. So this time, how about we make these two lines into a method? So we can make these two lines into a method, and highlight, right click, quick action, and extract method. So we just push enter, and you see here, how do we want to put, how about called user input? You can call anything you want. You see the method is here, so click on apply, done. And remember, don't panic, You see this one is still here. The old one is still. And now we have another method called user input. And you see now we have two lines. And it will ask user to prompt for a number and then input. And we can also see a benefit. Now instead of just one number from the user, we can have both numbers from the user. So we can call the same method user input. If you run this program, you will see first ask users for input, and then we put that into A, into variable A, and then another time it will call user input, we put that into B. And you see we just write the method once and used twice. So you see the benefit of organization. Now this time there is a little bit benefit. So when your code grows a long one, you will see more benefit. So in summary, this homework, we want you to practice method. A method is a way to organize code. And you basically just put one or more lines into a new group, and you need to follow the rules for the method. For example, you put a return type and a name, and this one you don't need input because we ask users, we will get input, get number here inside. So we don't need anything, but you still need the pair of parentheses, even they are blank. So everything is inside. So this is end of class. Everything is inside the method. It's still true, but each method must be inside. You can minimize this, I think. So you can minimize this. You see the dot dot dot. So each method is inside a class. And that's for today. If you have any question, post at the Twitter. I will help. And thank you for watching. Bye.